Welcome, everybody. This is The Real Deal with me, Larry Lawton, and Ben and David today.
What's up?
What's up, La? How you doing?
Well, everybody, we'll let you all know what's going on. We are testing our new setup for a person shoot from not in the studio. We're going to be one of the really good ones that can do that. We got the technology to do it, and I'm actually in New York City in a hotel. I just did the History Channel. I did film the History Channel. I'm flying back today, Friday, because this is Friday. And so we're really figuring this all out. We had a whole bunch of crazy shit already happen. We had water come out of the air condition. We had the setup what Benz is doing now. Benz is in the producer spot. You don't have a camera on him right now, but with that we do have one, and it'll be set up for the next show. Mm-hmm. So things are going good, quick, and I hope you guys can see it and hear it, and please give us any feedback you want that you guys think we need. So let me get on with Dave. What's been going on?
Not much, La. You know, I'm a sports and news guy. Watched the basketball game last night. I was glad to see Golden State win for your sake.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, well, I had them in the series.
You had them in the series to win 4-2, and they did win 4-2.
Yeah, they came back from 2-1 down and won it, and I predicted. I took a shot, as they say.
Yeah, I mean, you got lucky.
Did you put any money on it, Larry?
Yeah, he did. He had a few bucks.
Yeah, I mean, nothing major, obviously. I don't gamble like that. But things are good. I mean, so you did the news. And what else has been going on in the news?
A lot of that January 6th bullshit, but I'm getting tired of it. You know, they're doing hearings on it and all, and a lot of crap. Every other day they giving you updates, live updates and all of that, like with the whole panel. They go on there and they tell everybody, and they have witnesses talking. They're showing you prior, interviews they had with the Trump people and all of that. So, it's getting monotonous. It really is.
This is just another political ploy. It's bullshit. It's time for the midterm elections. It's total bullshit because he's not going to jail. Nobody's going to prison. None of this bullshit you want to hear. They're trying to take your mind off the economy and how bad things are really out there. Gas prices up here in New York, $6 a fucking gallon. Are you fucking kidding?
They're almost $5 here in Florida.
Right.
$4.82.
And we're considered a cheap market, I think.
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
Nah, I think we're now mid-market.
We're below the national average is $5, and we're at $4.82.
All right.
So we're, at 20 cents to 15 cents below the national average.
Right. All right.
It's just crazy, everybody. It's the economy's terrible. The stock market's tanking. It's called recession. It's called what it is. Probably needed a little bit to get things leveled out again, personally. But listen, I feel for the regular guy. I feel for the guy who can't afford to put the gas in the car. I feel for the guy that can't maybe go away to the movies even this weekend because they got to save the money. It's tough, man, and I feel for people. That's the way I am.
But in all reality, it's a cycle. It happens every 10 years about, it's an up and down hill. And, no matter who's president, I've seen this happen with Republicans in office, with Democrats. But it is a lot of shit. I mean, listen, I don't get into the politics too much, but I don't like Biden is doing nothing to do. He could open up all these lines. This crap with this bullshit that they talk about, the Green Deal and this, and they want everyone on electric. There's so much proven that doesn't mean shit now. It takes so much energy to make a battery.
Right.
Coal energy. Dude, there's so much things people are just blinded by. They think, I'm going to get this car. Then the batteries, they last, 10 years or whatever. Then you need brand new batteries at $10,000. What the fuck?
And you got to mine lithium to get them.
Plus, you got the two biggest countries in the world, China and India, population-wise, they ain't doing nothing for it. So, I mean, no matter what everybody else does.
China has gone electric because they sell you lithium.
Yeah, the whole system is kind of messed up. And I think just Biden is real. First of all, I hate to say this, man. I think Biden has lost it. I really do. Just watching him and everything else. And, listen, and I'm not even mad about it. If you ever notice Obama, if you ever notice Clinton, they get into office as black hair, nice. Every one of them come out of there great.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, fucking goddamn, they tell them some crazy shit about Area 51 or crazy shit. But I'm telling you, they all come out of there fucking great. And now you put a guy who's 75 in there.
He went in more than gray. He went in half Alzheimer's.
Right. Exactly.
We don't know that guy. We don't know that. We don't know that.
Well, he went in really gray.
Right. He went in already being older. Now, I'll give you that.
That's
for sure.
my point.
I just don't want to get too political. I don't want to stand behind all these, these rhetorics of people talking about, he has lost it. He can't talk. He can't this. He's our president. We got to respect him until we can't.
Well, we can't.
Well, let's get back to this, Dave. So anyway, on news, the politics, all the bullshit. I try to tell people to stay positive. It is what it is. We got to work through whatever it is. I mean, listen. As I say to people, tomorrow morning's coming around. The sun's gonna shine, or the sun's coming up or going down. I don't give a fuck where you are. So you got to work for that day, the next day, and the day after that, and not get yourself bogged down and depressed and all this other bullshit.
I like that.
Crap is in there, and you can't do that. You just can't. You have to fucking move on in life, live as best you can, and move on. Now I want to go a couple of things, Dave and Benz. I want you to chime in on a little of this.
Okay.
What's up with Mike?
Okay,
Methhead.
I know a lot of people want updates. I've gotten a lot of calls about Mike. So I'll tell you a couple of things that I do know. First of all, I have not heard from him yet. Nobody, as far as I know, has heard from Mike yet.
Is he in jail?
That's a possibility. Now, I've had some people do some work. That's the thing. The fans, they took it into their own hands, and everybody's sending me. So I have court documents from here in Florida, but no actual proof that he's been arrested in Tennessee. We got his full name. We looked him up. They even found his mom. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm not doing any of this. These guys are doing it. They're just sending me the information. Now, Larry.
Let me tell you, I get it. I got a bunch of emails about it.
Same.
And one person was saying that he's takes advantage of young people.
Yes.
I obviously did as far as with the money, but I hope it's just that and not something else. I don't know.
Well, I do have something in regards to that as well. Now, I don't want to blow things out of proportion too much because I know very little, but I'll tell you what I know. There's a guy that's been a member on our Discord for a very long time. He was on our Discord for so long that when he first started, he was a minor. When he was a minor, him and Mike had some conversations in their DM, and Mike had presented himself as like having a crush on this guy. And that's the only thing that I've heard that has to do with any nature of taking advantage of anybody younger. I don't think anything happened from there, by the way. I should clear that up right away. And the money situation, the list is growing and growing and growing, Larry.
Wow, that is amazing.
I think we're up to like 10 people now.
Wow, what? And such shit. I mean, you want to talk stupid. I mean, this guy's either stupid. Listen, as far as the sex, if he did anything with a minor, he should be shot. If he didn't,
agreed.
And consenting adults, I don't give a fuck what they do. But as far as stealing money from fucking, people like this is such bullshit, such crap, I call it.
It's like quick con too, $15 at a time,
Yeah,
nickel and diming him, huh?
Uh-huh.
That's not even a quick con. He could have did better by standing on a corner with a sign.
100%. Do you know the story, Dave?
Not a little bit, Benz, but nah. I know he's met Mike. I know he's kind of fucked up.
He basically, what happened was, I'll tell you real quick, even if you're just jumping into this episode. Methhead Mike is a guy that we've had on the show a few times. He told us some crazy stories. We like the guy. Larry and I just kind of kept keeping up with him because the listeners wanted to know. He was excited about being on the podcast and everything. He's gone through some legal issues, moved to Tennessee with his uncle. One day, disappears. Cold, boom, gone. That's it. Fucking guy's gone.
Right.
Longer story short, then people start talking about where's Mike? Then we find out he owes a bunch of people on our Discord money. And then people who weren't on Discord that heard it on the podcast then later joined, sent emails, and said that he owed them money. Basically, what he would do is he'd say, hey, man, I'm having a hard time. Can you give me $5? Hey man, I'm having a hard time. Can you give me $30? Hey man. And you know, these guys at first, they were friends with him, online friends, but friends nonetheless. And they would just shell him out the money. Now, I know one guy does not want me to say his name, so I'm not going to, Larry. $180. Now, I know it's not a lot to us, but it's a lot of fucking money to scam somebody for, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where we are.
Do I know him, Ben?
You don't know him, but if I told you the name, it would ring for sure.
Okay. Oh wow! I gotta fill it, Peter.
Yeah, you know, Peter knows him well too.
Well,
Peter knows the guy who gave him $180.
Oh yeah, for sure, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I heard from Peter about not long ago about a guy that needed help, and then they DM'd him for whatever in Discord. He'll pass those on to me. You know, I don't know how legit some of them are or not, so I look through them pretty good. And then, you know, are they just wanting to talk to me and just, I don't know, waste time? Or really, do they need help? You know, depending. I don't know what it is.
Sure.
So, I mean, I take it one email at a time. I just heard a few about from Mike. Somebody put, you know, podcast Methhead Mike or something, and I opened it. So I do read it. If anybody wants to know, even if I didn't answer you, I read it. Trust me, I read. So let them.
I try to answer everybody about this.
Yeah, I've been busy. I mean, for real busy, traveling and now coming back tomorrow. And then we got a whole bunch of, this is great. We're checking out this new system, everybody. As you can see, the camera's on David. You're going to see it when we do the show from the YouTube. We worked on that this week too, getting this thing up and going.
You know, if they're just listening, they don't know, but we've got Larry on an iPad right now and a camera on him as well. So that's something to look out for when we have the YouTube channel. And this is coming up soon, right, Larry?
Very soon. We just discussing that last night with my son. Things are happening quick. And you know, it's kind of fun, exciting, a little, you know, we're ready. Darian's got stuff in the hopper ready to go. So when it goes, we're going to be able to pop it quick, get going, and then keep up with it in the right way. Awesome. We do this, and they call it the real deal because this is what you're seeing. You see in the office. I'm seeing it.
Lad, it's going to be a different YouTube channel than your other YouTube channel, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is. It's going to be its own entity. Obviously, you'll be able to link it to one or whatever. But yes, this is going to be the podcast, just the podcast. So when we want to do a special podcast, we'll do it or whatever we want. We're going to be on that. Now we're going to pump it a little bit on the main channel. Let people know where to go, maybe throw a video together now and then. We discuss just to bring people in and keep that end of it going. What we also want to do, obviously with the podcast, is this is very important what we're trying today. I am in New York City right now. Benz and David are in
the office,
Florida. And what we're doing this is so I can get guests from anywhere. And when we can show them how it looks, how easy it is. I am on my iPhone in a hotel room, propped up on two cups and a like, you know, a little holder that shows you, you know, the Wi-Fi plastic holder.
Why does he keep going in and out?
That's when we talk. The microphone will take priority over Bluetooth, so we have to make sure if his lips are moving, we got to be. So that's something for us to learn, right? And then Larry's gonna have to learn this too.
Oh, well, okay, that's good. They will learn it right here. Everybody, the audience. It's important that we're going to get this right because then this way I can get guests from all over the country, all over the world.
Right.
I can get anywhere, England, anywhere. I don't care who it is. And it'll be a lot better because I want to see the guests, and I think people do too. And I think, you know, you'll be able to show. I could show something right here if I had to. I could show something I was getting or doing and not just verbally talk about it. But podcasters are evolving, and that's why they're up on Spotify with videos now, and they're just evolving. Everything is evolving. The whole entire the only thing you need TV. You don't even need TV. No, TV is done. They've proven that with Live Golf. They watch the whole tournament of golf on YouTube,
commercial free,
nothing to worry about. Talk about taking over. Sports is going to see that, and that's going to be a big thing for sports too, because once these networks are gone, you know, the whole landscape is changing, man. I'm telling you, in the next listen, I won't be around, but in the next 50 years, you're not going to see TV the way you think you are.
Oh, no way, right?
Next 20 years.
Well, it's going to be, obviously, people age out. You have, your stuff, and everybody, go from my mother's age to, then our age, Dave, and then you go to Benz's age, and then you go to younger. They think Benz is old, the young people.
Oh, no, I am. That's the thing, because at the end of the day, I will probably die with a TV in my house. I cannot say the same about my little brother. My little brother has a TV, and it's a fucking dust collector.
Right.
Yeah, TVs are a way of, all the TVs, just might as well call it what it is, the monitor.
Right, exactly.
That's really what we bought. We bought one. It should be there today, Dave. Matt was going there yesterday to fix it.
There's only one box came so far, La. Little box.
No, that's okay. But it's we got to get that AC fixed, guys. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to go back to Methhead Mike. We're going to go back to the news. Obviously, flying. I'm a JetBlue guy. I'm also going to be, just to let everybody know, if they want it, I'll be in Key West next week for a night. Just hanging out on the 24th. That Friday night, whatever that is. Going to be there partying and then flying back out the next day. So what else is going on? We had a whole bunch of other shit going on. I don't know what else is in the news that besides politics and the sport. We do have the hockey now that's going strong.
Yeah, that's the only really thing. Sports is baseball is in the first third of the season, really.
Infancy stage.
Yeah, exactly, infancy stage. And then hockey's in the finals. And then the NBA ended yesterday, so football didn't even start. So really, sports are kind of like in a slow part right now.
Well, you got the U.S. Open this week, obviously, for golf.
Yeah.
Did you watch any yet?
I have. I've watched it on the Fire Stick. I've watched it on pay-per-view TV. I've watched some of the key foursomes like Maury McIlroy. I see all day yesterday. I watched them all day. What's going on? Tough course. Real tough course. Rory's in the hunt. He shot 3 under yesterday. He was 1 shot off the lead. And he golfs late today, late afternoon. And that's it. I mean, they're predicting the winner to be at like -4 by the end of the rounds, by the end of Sunday, around that score.
They're playing at
Brookline in Massachusetts.
Right. It's called the Country Club at Brookline.
Right.
Yeah, and in Massachusetts. And I didn't get to watch a minute of TV for you. Literally nothing.
And it's been kind of windy there, too.
And they still went to 3 under?
Yeah. Well, the morning guys. And then the wind picked up in the afternoon, and those guys had a little harder time. Now, today, I started watching it this morning before I went to the hairdresser with Mom, and it was a little windy this morning, but the wind's supposed to pick up this afternoon. So those guys who had it a little hard, little easier yesterday morning are going to have it a little harder today.
That's so funny because I love the live golf.
I love it too, lad. The way they do the shotgun start, and there ain't no advantage for any of them. They're all playing on the course at the same time.
Absolutely. Now, you can get called and less wind. I know that's tradition. It's been doing that forever, and I get it. But, things evolve. People evolve. Things don't change, stay the same. In the beginning of football, they didn't have face masks. And, football had just a helmet. And hockey didn't have anything there. Now they got all face masks and all this.
Everybody's got to wear a helmet, right?
Right. So things evolve, and I think golf needs to evolve with it. And if they don't want to keep fucking fighting this, that's their issue. I'm going on another topic I was thinking about the other day. I was down here in New York, bro, and I was thinking, and the crime here has gotten crazy again.
Really?
It's all over the Northeast, man.
Yeah, it is pretty much. You're right, Ben. It's about the Northeast. And what do you do about it? How do you do it? I thought about, because I'll take the subway. I don't give a shit. And they say, it could get dangerous down there. Fuck you and dangerous. I think we need another. And guys, I want you to look this up. There was a show back out in the 70s. This movie came out called Death Wish with Charles Bronson.
I remember it.
Yeah, and what he did was he was a guy, ended up, his family got murdered or something of that nature. and he ends up becoming a vigilante, going on the subways and waiting, and they come and did whack-a-mole. I almost wish we had that. I know that's hard. I know that's tough, but we need something where people are held accountable for what they're doing.
I'll give you something better, La. In New York City subway, do you remember Bernie Getz?
Of course. Are you kidding me?
The one who shot, and he got off. He got off. He shot and killed, I don't know, 2 or 3 people. But he was threatened, and they were going to mug him.
I remember
and
that.
He had a gun. Bernie
I remember
Getz.
hearing about it, yeah.
This is, I don't know, it had to be in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
But it's a while. 80s, yeah.
In the 80s, as a matter of fact, Billy Joel put it in a song. We didn't start the fire. And
that's how I know about it, actually. You're right. I was trying to rack my mind. I was like, how the fuck would I know about this in the 80s? But you're right, Larry. As soon as you said Billy Joel, I was like, boom.
Oh, I remember reading it in the paper every day, going to work on the subway.
Right,
in the
right.
80s. I graduated. I was out of the military, and I was working in Manhattan, taking the subway every day.
Well, Larry, so what do you think? What's given?
Well, I'll tell you what I think is right. I think the laws are a little bit too easy. And I'm not saying we have the laws, but we're not holding people accountable. When you know that you can't you're not going to stay in jail for nothing. There's no consequence to it. You already don't give a fuck. And I'll tell you the truth. The economy is hurting everything. People have no hope. These young people are on the borderline. They feel like, look at their parents struggling. I mean, fighting, divorcing over money. They can't get a job. They're working 2 jobs each and they're still not making it.
Right.
And now they're saying, this kid is saying, what the fuck, I need this shit, fuck it. And they already get depressed. Before you know it, they don't care. They're out robbing. They make a lick or two. They get a couple of licks for fucking 2,000-3,000, whatever. And now, that's big money to them.
Right.
And before you know, you got yourself a criminal in the making. Instead of I think the economy has a lot to do with it. And it always does. It always did. Crime always went up when we had bad economies.
And it just started.
Laz, the new mayor up there trying to do anything about it?
I don't know, Dave. I didn't read a paper. I didn't do anything. I didn't watch a news show up here. I'm not hearing anything great. He is a law and order guy. He's an ex-cop,
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he does that. California has got so fucked up. When I went there, Benz, we went there and I saw homeless shit that I never thought I'd see in my life.
It was
in front of $1 million house.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I heard. You told me. Yeah.
It's like, oh, come on. We got to do better as a society. And if not, then we are really in trouble as a society. We are borderline, Africa or something, like some of these nations where it's either the rich or the poor, and that's the end of the fucking deal. And the rich do everything to protect themselves, and the poor just fucking live like fucking animals. And it's really a dog eat world, and we need to do something about that. Now, the president comes in, but we don't even have a Congress or people who want to work together. We have nothing, and they're both polarizing. I'm telling you, I'm so sick and tired of the polarizing. All of this bull. This is the biggest waste of fucking time. These hearings, because we know what happened. Everybody knows what happened. What's the outcome? Give me the greatest outcome. We put President Trump in jail? Fuck no. It's not going to happen. Period. End of story. What are we showing? What are we doing?
Well, you already said it. You said it. This is just a smoke show.
This is a political fucking thing for the fucking midterm elections,
right?
To show the Republicans and try. It's politics at its worst level. It really is.
Right.
And everybody knows I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I am neither. And I see it so clearly when you take any incident and say, Dave, you're in politics. You're a Democrat. You're proud of it. But you don't like what's going on. I know that. But what do you think? Do you think, you'll watch it more than all of us.
I told you I'm getting tired of watching it. I told you that earlier in the show. I think they're overdoing it. We already know what happened.
Do you want to?
We already know what happened.
Do you want an outcome? Is there something in the mind of and I'm only asking you this as a Democrat, Dave. We talk personally, you and I, but as somebody who votes Democrat, who's somebody who's on the left wing wing of things, do you want an outcome out of everything you see on TV today?
Yes. I'd like to see an outcome, but I doubt it's going to happen. I'd like to see somebody pay for it, what happened.
Who?
President Trump.
You want him specifically to get...
I want him indicted. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But he clearly, he incited it. clearly.
Right.
So, I mean, and they're proving, I mean, that's
a slippery slope you're going down.
I was going to go.
I'll tell you why it's a slippery slope. Yes, do I think he could have did better things? Yes, do I think he could have did a lot of things? Yeah, that was me. Someone was calling me, guys.
Okay, all right.
We now know what that looks like.
All right, I didn't know.
Well, what happened was, I mean, obviously, I think he could have stopped it, got bringing in. He didn't have to do it. He could have accepted in the beginning, but he didn't. And, our system should have a safeguard against the kook that he did. Now, we didn't. He was so powerful with his people. He's a master manipulator. Everybody knows that.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think he knew that it was going to go as far as it did?
I don't think he knew it was going to go into
I agree with that.
I don't believe he knew they were going to go in there and break windows and fucking try to get a guy. I really don't believe that.
Yeah, me too.
I think when it happened, I think the fucking simple brain he is, fucking, wow, this is cool. They're doing this for me. That's why he didn't want to stop it. Now, listen. Now, first thing a person will tell you is, hey, wow, would you want President Trump now or Biden? Look at the economy. I mean, really, look what matters right now.
Right.
And it's not Trump that was the genius. It was the policies that people around him or whatever you want to call it. Listen, the policies right now of the Democrats are terrible, period. They want only electric, no driller, they're fucking destroying this country by that. And you have to have the balance of middle class being able to make money. And right now, the Democrats are killing the gas prices, killing them. You think they'd want to fucking open up everything you can do in the world to bring gas to $2 again. But they're not. They're fucking, it's just part of the cycle. You have to, stay strong until things change. To change what? When are they going to change? I'm like, wow.
Dave, how do you? So I agree with you 100%, Larry. I could not agree more. Your mouth is moving, but it might as well be my mouth because I agree 100%. There's not one thing I would deviate off of that. How do you feel about it?
Same way. They're not doing enough. Biden or the Democrats, let's say, are not doing enough.
Would you drill today? Would you open the pipelines?
At $5 a gallon and as bad as the economy is, you bet your ass I would.
Would you vote for this administration again, assuming they wouldn't?
No.
Wow.
But I wouldn't vote for Trump, though.
Well, that's the thing. You got one evil on one side, evil on the other.
Well, David's got a great point, Ben. It's the person. People didn't vote for Biden. They voted against Trump. That was
exactly. That's
right.
Really
right. No, I hear that.
Wait, hold up, but that was proven because certain Republicans won low down ballot tickets and they lost the top because nobody wanted him.
Right.
If they didn't have him, obviously they wanted his policies, but he was so out there. Now, I don't know what people will say anymore. Even though David, I get, and I'm kind of that way, he's not for this country. If this country can't find two better candidates than a 75-year-old and an 80-year-old running in the next election.
You got that wrong.
80 and 80.
It's just more like 80 and 79.
Whatever the fuck. It's just crazy. It really. There is such good talent out there, whether it's DeSantis, whether it's Pete Buttigieg. There's people out there on both sides of the aisle that are young, that got vision, got brains.
Did I just hear him say he likes DeSantis?
DeSantis or Buttigieg?
Do you like DeSantis?
I would vote for DeSantis over Biden any day in the week.
Wow. This is very interesting, guys.
Yeah. I would almost vote for anybody, any Republican that ran. But
I feel like Trump. This is a part of a much longer conversation. I've got so much to say,
But Trump.
Well, listen, politics is part of what we do. We have to live it. Everybody who's listening if they're in the overseas, they have their issues with their countries. Everybody does. We have ours. Young people, in my mind, and this is where I'm going to change the subject to hair, but young people need to get involved in politics in a big way.
Agreed.
That's the biggest problem. And I get why they're disgusted because nothing happens, nothing changes. All these people in Congress, these fucking Pelosi's and this fucking McCarthy and McConnell, They're all fucking, get them the fuck out.
Larry, you got to remember, politics for somebody my age, my brother's age, even a little younger, is a bad word. Politician, that's a curse anymore.
I agree with that, but I see somebody like we know, and I'm going to have him on the show, Pete Filiberto.
He's the exception to that rule.
He's a young man who wants to help this community. He's a normal guy. He does his research. That's a bright spot to me, and that's why I want to highlight 32 years old, 33 years old, and he's changing things. And he's going up the hill. I hope he don't get burnt out. I hope he don't get jaded because he's going against an uphill battle. And I want to see him stick with stuff because that's who we need. Guys who care.
We need more of him.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's very rare you're going to see somebody in their 30s, early 30s.
If we had 100 Pete Filibertos in the Senate, we'd be rolling.
Oh, yeah, he's an issues guy, I got to tell you. And he's willing to listen to both sides, which is very important.
And he does his homework, and he studies, and he does this.
But, Larry already said it. He's going to get burned out. They all start as issue people, man. I hope he doesn't. Don't get me wrong.
Benz is right. I hope he doesn't become jaded. And that's what happens with a lot of them. And, because they keep running into a wall and they know they're right. And they'll hear it from their friend at the bar who's with them. But I can't do it because Mitch McConnell says it's not time or whatever. They don't have the balls to stick up with the right people. And then it becomes their political career. And I get that part of it, too. So, I'm in that weird way of what are we going to do? I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do it or change it as well. I want to change subjects here for a minute.
All right.
What's going on? I'm looking at the office from the outside looking in. That red wall I'm looking at will look great with the diamonds on them.
Hell yeah.
The whole office is going to look, it's going to be a big change.
It's
once
starting
the
to take
come
shape.
In, a little bit of extra furniture you're going to get. It's going to be great. Air conditioning is going to be fixed. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. Yeah.
And, the sound is good. I'm not hearing any echoes or anything.
Nothing on our end. It's all good.
And I just noticed you don't have those echo things on the wall. You didn't put them back. You don't have to, I don't think.
Well, we're going to check them. Did they have a system that you could check sound in a room? Benz was telling you, I think you put a meter in there and it tells you where you need to put them. It's pretty intense shit. But we're doing it right. We're going to have this thing down with science. I'm loving this part of it, that we've got this down today, because this is important, very important.
Especially for you, Lab, being in Central Florida here where it's hard to get guests to fly into. And if you could put them on live, like they're sitting across from me, like you're sitting across from me now, at least the audience thinks that. And I know you're not looking at you on an iPad, but they're not going to know that.
I don't care if they know it.
They'll know you're on an iPad, but it's not going to make a difference, right?
Right.
It's like you're there.
Right.
The only isn't there is having a drink with him and a cigar.
We'll ship it to him.
Well, he can't have a cigar in a hotel room. Otherwise, he'd have one lit right now.
Right. But otherwise, Dave, you got to remember these people are going to be at their houses.
Yep.
They're going to be wherever, on the beach. I don't care where they are. It'll be great.
Right.
I don't want to disrupt their days and their lives. I want their story.
You want them for an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, their story, whatever it is. Now, I want to also make an announcement. We're starting the After Hour show. I put out a thing. I had a few people email back and send resumes.
I've had so many.
Yeah, right now, I'm not seeing anything. I don't know if there's a way to look. I'm actually going to go look somewhere. I'm thinking where I could find younger people and the people we're looking for to get somebody and have them come in. Once the studio's done, which is going to be within the next probably week or two, top. I'm talking couches, stars, everything, diamonds, everything's done. Then the person can come watch the show and then understand what we want to do with the after hours. The what do you call it? The talk shit after, what is it?
The talk shit after show, baby.
Talk shit after show. So,
Larry came up with that.
Yeah, that was another one of my genius moves.
One more thing I want to tease, and I don't know how much you want to say about this, but I'll just tease it and you'll take it from there. We've gotten some preliminary pictures, some cigars with bands on them. The Crooked Diamond is happening, people.
Oh. Not only did I get all that, I mean the boxes. You've seen the Crooked edition, the Prisoners of Crooked edition at the end of the cigar, the band they put there. Ben,
Yeah, it fucking looks awesome. I can't wait.
did you see the end of the cigar? They put that thing on it.
Well, no, I haven't seen them yet. Are they here? Where are they?
No, they're not here. I'm talking the picture.
Oh, in the pictures I saw, yeah. Dude, it all looks... I can't wait to put my hands on them.
No, I'm talking about the end of the cigar. What do they call that? No,
The footband.
The footband. Look what it says on that footband.
Let me see, Dave.
That's pretty cool.
The Diamond Edition, baby.
Yeah.
What a move that is, because now we can make the gold edition.
Right, I love it.
You know, we made it so it can expand. It can get bigger. It can go big. Go big or go home, as they say.
This is so fucking cool. You should hold this to the camera or something, because this is cool.
Hold it up to that camera.
Well, you got to watch out with your reel if you hit this picture over here, you know.
Yeah, you'll get one of my...
Put it up close.
All right.
You don't want that, Ben. You don't want one of my pictures, Papa. You'll get some wild shit up there. People would love that. But anyway, the cigars are coming out. The things are happening, man. The new channel is going to be up. A lot is going on, and you know let me say it here as best I can. I want to thank all of the audiences and all of the platforms because without input and people wanting things and us approaching it. Listen, you guys, I got to say, my audience, I'm going to give them a big shout out.
Hell yeah.
You guys stopped me from getting into the crypto world. And thank you, because right now the crypto world sucks.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's got a little crash going on. No doubt about that.
I'm not saying that it's not going to go and all that. It's here to stay. We all know that. But not at that level I was going to try to do things with. And I'm glad I didn't.
Right.
So, and it was because I listened to my audience. I put it up on the community page. I talked about it on a video, and I read the comments. So when I get that, I looked at it, and I'm glad I did. So
awesome. I'm glad you did too. I know. Here's the thing: if sometimes we got to take direction, and who better knows than the masses, right? I always like to listen to people, and I think people in general, when they speak out loud, when they speak as a group, I think that there's always a lot of valid stuff being said. So I'm glad you listen too, and I do the same.
Well, you know, I think everybody you got to make your own choice. Sometimes you got to buck the tide, because that's what success becomes bigger and bigger. But at times you have to say, okay, what's it worth? Where is it? Like, you know, is it that important to you or something of that nature? At that point, it wasn't what I did for a living. So I didn't want to do it. And I just wanted to continue doing what I'm doing now. So, but listen, I'm getting knocked on. So I'm going to have to go. You guys can continue this a little bit. And Dave, you guys can go. I don't even know how long I've been in here. Oh, my God.
All right, Larry, we'll take it from here. I've got a couple things I want to ask Dave. You know, you brought up something. Dave is contrasted to me as far as his political views. And so, you know, one thing that I always think about whenever I think about Dave is somebody who kind of has a head on his shoulder. He's not just a blind follower. And unfortunately today, if you're in one extreme or the other in any party, you are a blind follower. So that's something that I want to catch up with Dave on. And so you're leaving the hotel right now, running to the airport, getting on a plane and coming here, huh?
Yep, that's what I'm pretty much doing. I got to go, got to drop off a rent-a-car and that kind of stuff.
Sounds
so
good.
You guys have a good day.
I see you tonight, La.
I'll see you guys tonight. And, hey, have a good show. Audience, take care.
Peace, brother.
All right, out.
So Dave.
Well, let's put it this way.
Okay.
He called me a Democrat. I don't consider myself a Democrat. I consider myself an independent.
Okay.
I'm middle of the road. I'm for the best man. Obviously, I can't vote because of being a convicted felon and having a restitution.
Sure.
So, but So my vote, I mean, I can't vote, but that don't mean I don't follow things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I'm just for the better man.
Well, let me ask you something. Are you registered as to any party?
I was registered Democrat years ago.
Well, I mean, does that lapse?
I don't know. I this is before jail, so before 2000.
Okay.
So it don't mean nothing.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what it.
Let me ask you something. Assuming they gave you your right to vote, now you can vote in Florida.
Nope.
No, you can. You can. You can vote in Florida.
You mean not on a presidential?
Not
election?
on a presidential election.
Okay.
A non-federal election, you can still vote on.
Okay.
Have you?
No.
You have
because
not.
I registered to vote and they never mailed me anything.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Do you know
I
what law I'm talking
to vote
about, right?
with my new address,
Right.
my license and everything. Well, matter of fact, when I got my new license, they asked if I would like to vote. I said yes, and put my address and all. They sent it. I did the paperwork, and never got nothing back in the mail.
Wow. Well, maybe you'll get something for the midterms.
Maybe
because there's a lot of local shit happening with it as well. Yeah. It was last time on a similar type of vote where we got the felons' right to vote again.
But I would definitely register. I don't know. I would register as an independent, but then you can't vote on certain things. Like you have to be registered either a Democrat or Republican to vote in some primary.
Well, in the primary, sure.
So, but that's wrong, I think.
Hey, I don't like that either.
I don't like that.
How do you feel about term limits?
I'm the first guy who ever said that. I think that's how we could solve Washington.
What kind of limits are we talking?
Same thing as a president.
Same thing as 8 years. That's it.
8 years for the Senate and the Congress.
I'm with you.
But how would that ever get passed?
It can't. You're not
going to vote on that to pass it.
Well, the people. I'm not voting myself out of a job, Dave. That's what they're going to do.
That's my point.
Exactly. It's like
so it's never going to get passed.
It's like asking you to vote so you don't get a paycheck anymore. People are not going to do that, right?
Exactly.
Plus, they like the power that they have.
Right.
And so, unfortunately, that'll never happen. You know what else will never happen?
What?
You'll never take guns off the streets here in the United States.
I agree.
That's never going to happen.
I agree.
How do you feel about?
You could take the guns off legally if you want, but they're all going to come in illegally.
And then you got a bigger problem than you have now.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this: how do you feel about gun laws and you know, just
how
in
do
general?
I feel about gun laws
in general?
I think there needs to be a little bit of a change, a little bit. I think everybody should have the right to a gun.
Okay.
Every legal person should have
Not
the
you,
right
though.
to a gun.
Not a felon.
I think I should, but obviously I can't.
Because you know yourself, right? I mean,
right. I mean, because Zach, I should be able to do everything you should do. I did my time. I pay my tax. Or, I should be able to do everything a legal person should be able to do because I am legal now. I pay taxes like everybody. I do everything. The only thing I can't do is vote or have a gun right now.
Right. And are you bothered by those things on a daily basis?
No.
In general, you're not.
In general, I'm not.
But you think that somebody that has served their time, that comes out, that has changed as a person, should have the ability to vote for a president and to have a gun.
Of course.
I'd be very interested to hear Larry's perspective on this. I know he's touched the subject before.
He agrees with me.
He does.
Yep.
I can't say I disagree.
I mean, give me a reason why somebody would disagree.
Well,
why I can't vote.
Well, why you can't vote, I think that's bullshit. I think either way, I think felon or not, I think you should still vote. But when it comes to guns,
I don't think I should be able to vote while I'm in prison.
No. But when you come out, after you've served your time, you should come out ready to go.
Did my dues. I'm a law-abiding citizen, paying taxes.
How long
like
were you
everybody.
in, Dave?
I was in 10 years.
10 fucking years
10
in federal
years.
prison.
Yeah.
Most of it in max?
Most of it in max and mediums.
In mediums, okay.
Very little bit low, and then I had the trouble with a pedophile and smashed the pedophile. And
Heard
went
about
back
that.
to a medium.
Can you tell us that story a little bit? I know that you've talked about it before.
I've told the story, but I went to a low, and my counselor said, we're going to put who we want in a room with you. You got no say of it. I said, oh, yeah. And I found out they put a pedophile in with me.
Oh, shit.
And when the doors locked one night, I put a lock in the sock, and doubled up the sock and smacked him over the back of the head, split his head open, thought I killed him, got
Holy
nervous
shit.
because I could have got another charge for that.
100%.
But I didn't. I did 13 months in segregated housing unit, which is, the shoe.
Right.
The hole. And
segregating.
It's the shoe.
I love how you use the legal term for it. The term that's kind of designed to make it look lighter than it is.
Segregated housing unit. They put you by yourself over there.
It's basically a fucking room with a bathroom and a sink.
It's 24-hour lockdown.
Right. How big is the room you're in?
maybe 10 by 6.
Yeah,
8,
not
whatever.
It's a cell. It's not a room.
It's a cell.
Right.
It's a cell. It ain't a room.
Housing.
A housing unit with bunk beds.
I hate that they call it a housing unit. Now, you
well-
were in there by yourself, but you have bunk beds?
Bunk beds. Sometimes you get a celly.
Sometimes you get a celly in the shoe?
Yeah.
Wow, how rare is that, though?
It's rare. I mean, they try not to do it unless they have to, unless it's overcrowded.
Right.
You know
So
what I mean?
So in your 13-month stint, how many times did you have somebody?
I had a celly for a good 8 months.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I accepted him, and we used to work out together in the cell.
Right.
And, I had the bottom bunk. He had the top bunk, and it was two of the same race, and they don't like to mix things up there.
Really?
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter to you anyway, though.
Not a maximum or a medium.
Right.
So anyway, I did 13 months, and then I got a disciplinary transfer back to a medium.
Wow.
And I was very happy.
And then, other than that, it was just a clean.
And I was discharged from a medium.
Right. Okay.
So 80% of my time, 70% of my time was a medium, 5% of my time was a low, and 15% of my time was the max.
Oh, you even had a low for a little bit.
Yeah, that's where I cracked the pedophile.
Oh, and was it a camp when you say low?
No, it's not a camp.
So it's low, but it's not a camp.
They got camp. The federals
Explain to the listeners what a camp is.
A camp is where you get free. There's no movement.
Right.
I mean,
You're basically, you have free form movement.
Free movement throughout the day from certain hours, from 8 in the morning or 6 in the morning, whenever chow call is, till maybe 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Free movement.
And then, so these people, they mow the lawn, they do
They
this.
mow
they
the
do that.
lawn. They take care of the if the meat. There's every time there's a camp, there's usually a maximum or a medium security prison within the camp.
Right.
So when we're under lockdown, because of a riot or something that happened, the low helps serve food, helps go to the kitchen and cook food in the medium prison while we're locked down.
Gotcha.
They mow the grass. They do all the work. They do that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Interesting.
They're allowed more visits than us. They could walk around. They could go, see their girlfriend, walk the track with their girlfriend sometimes.
So how do you become eligible for a camp if you're already a federal prisoner?
You have to have less than 10 years
Okay.
in prison,
And
and you can't be a violent criminal.
it has to be a white collar
My
crime.
criminal was considered violence because it was armed robbery.
Right.
That doesn't mean I'm a violent person,
Right.
but like a drug deal, you get busted for dealing cocaine or pot or meth or anything.
Violent.
It's not a violent criminal. Yeah, although some of them people are very violent.
Yeah.
But the crime itself is not a violent crime.
I see. So if you're arrested for like a coke deal, you could potentially serve time in camp
Yes.
as long as it's under 10 years.
As long as you could get you could get sentenced to 20 years. You could do 10, 12 years in a max and a medium, and then be eligible for the camp after you're below 10 years.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Now, did you know anybody in camp?
No.
Do you know anybody who's ever
Yeah,
served time
I
in
know
camp?
Frank.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we know
I have
somebody
a- I
together.
have a
That's right.
friend that
He
was
went
in
to
camp.
camp. That's right. That's right.
And a federal camp at that.
That's right.
And he took care of the golf course.
He
in
did.
Pensacola.
That's where I got the mow the lawn out of, by the way.
Exactly. So yeah,
And this was on a military base.
this was on a military base. And they took care of the golf course.
You know what the guy likes to
campus.
say? This is a thing he likes to say. I
It's the best time of his life,
Best
he
time of
said.
his life. I never got to go to summer camp as a kid. He said.
That's what he said.
And this guy is I mean, not a criminal at all.
No.
I mean,
White collar crime was tax evasion.
tax evasion, which is bullshit. We're not even
White
talking
collar
lots of
crime,
money.
you know.
We're talking like $10,000.
$15,000.
And no, he decided to fight it. He could have just paid it and went his own, his merry way.
Cost him damn near $1 million between his lawyer and the
Fuck,
fines
man.
he paid and all of that.
That's just fucking crazy.
Yeah. So that's it in a nutshell, prison wise.
So-
I've told a lot of prison stories on the YouTube channel and
I
all
know,
of that, but which his audience likes to hear a lot.
Sure. I mean, that's what the platform's all about, right? You'd agree that a lot of the people who are listening are people who are intrigued by the
His
prison
audience,
system.
his audience is very interested in that.
They're our audience now. We could say whatever we want to them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you got anything that you want to say to the audience?
About what? Prison?
About anything. Is there anything that you feel like needs to be highlighted? Is there something that you would have taken back, something you would have done differently? Do you have regrets? Because Larry will tell you straight up, he has no regrets.
I do not have any regrets.
You do not.
No.
You had a good life.
I had a good life.
You did.
I think personally, by me going to prison, probably saved my life, or added on to my life.
Right.
because we were making a lot of money. We were partying a lot. We were doing a lot of drugs and having parties and girls and limousines and
Sounds like
horses.
fucking fun to me, man.
We were me and my brother were side. A lot of the audience don't even know, but we were partners in every store.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we had it made. And who knows if it kept going? Who knows? You know what I mean? And it probably happened perfect to me that when I got busted at the age I got busted, I did my 10 years. I got out. I got right back into the union. I was a union construction worker. And when I got out, I went right back in the union. And now I'm a retired guy, and I do very well.
So the union doesn't. So the union doesn't fuck with you if you have
convicted felons. No. You as a convicted felon, you could come back into the union.
That's great. I like that.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Should be like that. Should be like that.
I'll tell you
all
a
right.
quick story. I got out.
Okay.
I got out of when I got out of prison. When I got released from prison, I had to go to a halfway house. Okay,
Right.
You know what a halfway house is.
Sure,
The audience
sure.
does too. So halfway house, I had 6 months halfway house. I went to a halfway house. They make you get a job. Then they want you to pay. You have to pay them part of your salary to the halfway house to live.
You basically float your own bill.
Right. Do you know McDonald's wouldn't even hire a convicted felon?
That's crazy. Is that the first one you tried?
Well, they told us don't try.
They told you not to try.
Yeah.
No shit.
They told us where to go for a job.
Okay.
But McDonald's would not hire a convicted felon.
So before you went back to the union, what'd you do? What was your job during your halfway time?
Nothing. I didn't get a job. I kept looking for a job.
So who's floating the bill? You still got to pay for it, yeah?
No.
You as long as you don't have a job, you don't have to pay for it.
Right.
Oh, well, that's
They
interesting.
released me. They released me to let me go home early in 6 months.
That's what it is. It's because you're not fucking paying the bed.
Because I wasn't. They wanted somebody there working.
Right. Exactly.
So they let me go, and I didn't do nothing for them to put me back in jail.
Right.
So they let me go home early on supervised release. I had to go see my supervisor, and then I had.
So do
3
you go
years
to New York or you go to
No,
Florida?
I went to right to this house.
Okay.
Right, and then I had to see a supervised release officer every month for the next 3 years.
Know how
Do a
that goes.
Piss test, all that shit.
Sure.
And I bought me a van, and I had a mobile car washing business.
Oh, so like a detail business.
Detail business.
Oh, that's a hell of a
I was
business.
detailing. I had a generator. I had a-
Tough work, man.
harder than union construction.
100, yeah, for sure. 100-degree fucking weather. You're out
And
there
I had
cleaning
Frank
wheels.
as a customer and all his friends.
No
and
shit.
I used
Oh,
to go
that's
to-
good. At least that.
I used to go to their work,
Right.
and I used to wash their cars and detail them. And
This was what, 2012?
2011.
11.
I got out in 11. This was about 2012.
Okay.
I got out of prison August of 2011, and I went to a halfway house.
Right.
I didn't get out of the halfway house until like November.
Okay.
So now we're talking almost 2012.
So how long you have this detailing business for?
Not long, 6, 8 months, and I went right back in the union.
You don't like the detail business?
It was hard work.
It is.
And I wasn't making a ton of money.
And
I
we're
didn't
here
have
in fucking Florida.
Didn't have no medical coverage.
That's true.
I went straight back into the union in Florida.
Right.
I built the hospital in Lake Nona, the Veterans Hospital.
Cool.
I worked in a Veterans Hospital. I did that for a year and a half. And then I told the guy there, the guy was laying off people. And I told the guy, lay me off because I'm going back to New York.
Right.
And New York was my stomping ground, and they make the big money up there.
Sure.
So I was making $110 an hour.
Hell yeah.
In New York compared to $35 an hour in Florida.
It's a little bit of a change, huh?
I went straight to New York. I got permission. I was still on supervised release.
Sure.
Got permission to leave.
Now you get another probation officer and all that shit over there.
I went and lived with my sister. They went to my sister's house. They told my sister, you can't have any guns in the house unless they're under lock and key.
Of course.
All the rules.
Yeah.
And she agreed upon it and said, yes, he can live here. He's got our blessings.
Right.
And I lived with my sister, and I had a job lined up from my old boss. Before I went to prison, I called him up, and I had good rapport with him, and he said, sure, come on up. I got plenty of work.
Fucking 10 years he remembered you.
And I got hired for more than 10 years because I wasn't working for 5 years before that. I was doing stores. So about 15 years.
Doing stores. That's committing robberies.
Right. And, so that was about 15 years I worked for. I hadn't even seen him, or they didn't even know I was in jail.
Right.
And when I called him up, I told him the whole story. And he says, yeah, come on up, Davey. Sure. He says, I got plenty of work.
Wow.
I said, okay, because my probation officer is not going to let me come up just to hang out in New York.
Sure,
I need to have a job up there.
So he had to have hired you before you moved, obviously.
Kind of.
Right.
Well, I went up there. I transferred my union card,
Right.
which you could do in the union. I was paying union dues in Florida. I transferred the card to New York.
Right.
Paid my union dues in New York. Got hired by my old boss right that day. He said, go here tomorrow morning. And I took my tools and I went there, and I worked for him the whole time and retired with him.
Wow.
And
how long did you work before you retired?
In the union?
Yeah.
16, 17 years
Okay, that's total.
total.
Okay, and then what was your last stint?
2000, the last day of 2019.
Okay, so from you would say about 2013 on.
In New York?
Yeah.
No, well, from 2012, in the middle of 2012.
Oh yeah, because you
to
only lasted a little bit
2019.
with the detail business.
Right.
Not even a year.
Not even a year.
Right.
6 months.
Right.
And about 2019, the end of 2019 was my last day.
You decided to retire.
Well, I was forced to retire because my lung.
Oh, that's right.
So
I don't think the audience knows about your lung.
I didn't have my 30 years in to retire, but I get retired on disability.
Right. Okay.
And so I get disability Social Security.
Gotcha.
Plus I get a VA check. Plus I get 2 pensions.
So you live okay now.
I live very good now.
So you know,
I'm comfortable.
I got to tell you, a lot of people.
And I'm 62 right now.
You look good for 62.
I mean, no.
Still got your hair.
I feel all right. Yeah.
Still got your.
That's
You
why
got
they
Larry
say
beat
I'm
there.
the mailman's baby. Where's Garfield?
It's fun. It's amazing he hasn't walked in yet.
Yeah.
We got a few minutes here. You know, I just want to say a couple things. One, I'm very interested in that story that you told us. A lot of people think about prison and coming out of prison, and it doesn't matter what you did before. It's hard to get a job. You know this. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's almost like you're starting over without a chance, right?
Right. It is hard to get a job, really. I
So
mean,
you're a part of the few, I would say maybe 5-10% that come out and actually have kind of have the ability to bounce right back.
Zach, that's what recidivism, what's the right word?
What's it?
Recidivism
Okay.
is so high. Because you get a lot of
know
these
it.
drug dealers, they come from the projects, they come from the ghetto, they get a job, they come out, they go back into the projects. What are they going to do? McDonald's won't even hire these guys.
That
So,
is a shock to me.
You know, McDonald's will not, till today.
That shocks me. So it's McDonald's. Anybody else that you can think off the top of your head that wouldn't? I know Chick-fil-A.
Well, I know Walmart and I know Target will.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know about Chick-fil-A. I don't know about Wendy's. I don't know about all these others.
You gotta give the motherfuckers
I know
a
McDonald's
chance.
won't. You know what I mean?
That's bullshit.
I know this one guy I came out with. He was a friend of mine. We came out together. We went to the same halfway house, and we met at the halfway house, actually, not in prison.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a good dude, and the guy got a good job. The guy started out a career. He worked for a dentist making false teeth, dentures. In a factory, like
Yeah.
And the guy was making $25 an hour back in 2011.
Do you keep contact with this guy?
No. But I mean, he was doing very good. So there are a handful, but that's 1 out of 10.
Right.
The other 9 do nothing and they go back on the street, and the only thing they know how to do is hustle.
Right.
And they're back
that's a
into
problem.
and it's a problem. And when you're a convicted felon and you get busted again, the chances of you going back to prison are real good.
For sure.
So
That one thing that comes to mind to me is second chances are required.
that's one thing about Larry talks about it a lot on YouTube, and he's a big advocate of it. But our prison system, they don't even make half these kids coming in prison. These 20-year-old kids, 19-year-old kids,
Right.
that got busted dealing crack or meth or coke or pot or whatever they did. Don't even have a high school diploma, and you can get your high school diploma in prison, but they don't, your equivalency,
Sure.
but they don't make you. They don't force you to do it, which I think they should.
100%.
I think instead of telling you to go out there and you got to get a job for 60 cents an hour in prison.
Well, I don't
you're
know.
supposed to work in prison,
But you
your
still-
job should be getting your diploma.
But you could do that. You could
Yes.
get your diploma.
Yes.
I don't know about forcing anybody to do anything. Some people, it's just not for them. Some people aren't studious. Some people they don't need a diploma to have a successful life.
That's true.
And some of these people don't think that education is going to further them along. Here's the thing.
But how many jobs won't even hire you unless you got a decent job?
Yeah, but they won't even a decent job won't hire you if you just have a felony.
That's true.
That's the problem. These guys feel like
some of them. Yes.
Larry was just talking about it a second ago. Yeah. Crime rates are through the roof, right? Yeah. Crime rates typically is when people can't see the light of day. They can't see the end of the tunnel. They feel like the world is shut down on them.
Exactly.
And in prison, everybody feels that way.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Did you know that you were going to go back into the union when you were in jail? Was that part of your?
I knew I had the option. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
you did.
Sure.
So that had to give you at least that a pin light at the end.
Glimmer of hope. Yes.
You're right.
Yep. I knew I was allowed to.
Right.
I knew because when I did leave the union, I left the right way. I put a hold on my union card. I didn't go delinquent and get suspended.
Oh, what happens if you get suspended?
Dues. You could still get back in, but it's a little harder. You got to go in front of the board.
Tell why you suspended.
Tell them why I was suspended, why I couldn't pay dues, why I fell off the face of the earth. Right. And then they would take you in, but it's a little more to it. But I knew I could just go down to the union hall and reopen my card.
So when you were in New York, just because we talked about it, you were an electrician?
No, a tin knocker.
A tin knocker.
A sheet metal worker.
Sheet metal worker.
I did HVAC.
Oh, okay, all right.
Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning.
You put together the vents and all that shit?
I put together big, not this house stuff.
Right, okay.
I did big buildings. I did, Freedom Tower.
Oh, okay.
The UN.
Did you enjoy doing it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was good.
It's crazy. They put you in these...
It was challenging. It was a good job. It paid very well. I mean,
all things considering.
You made $200,000 a year, Zach.
That's pretty fucking good.
You're getting paid $110 an hour, 40-hour week.
That sounds fucking awesome.
For a guy without an education, without a college education, or
Did you get your GED or did you graduate high school?
I graduated Catholic high school.
Catholic high school.
Yeah, we went to our whole family.
Yeah.
My dad put us all in Catholic school, all 5 of us.
Was it hard to graduate, did you feel?
No.
It was easy.
It was easy, but I had no intentions on going to
higher education.
And I had no intentions.
Yeah, I get that.
School wasn't for me. I was into sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Right.
As a kid.
We know that.
Not
as a kid, as a young adult. How old were you when they sent you in?
Prison?
Yeah.
Well, it was 2000. I went to prison in 2000. I got arrested in 2001. Went to prison in 2002, early February 2002. I went to trial. I was out on signature bond from November 2001 till February. And I was born in 1960. So what was I? 41 years old.
Yeah.
40 years old.
Wow.
41 years old.
Young man.
Yeah, 41 years old. I got out in my young 50s, and I worked for another 8-9 years,
Fucking not bad.
And I did 26 years in the union.
No,
when it was all said and done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to do 30.
Right.
To get your full pension. But being I got Social Security disability, I was disabled.
You have one less lung, right?
I have 1/2 less lung, but my whole lung is no good because they screwed me up.
What happened?
They paralyzed my diaphragm during an operation.
Oh,
and
shit.
my diaphragm, which controls your lung, the air that goes in and out, is paralyzed.
No shit.
Right. So it's paralyzed, closed. The flapper is closed. So when I take a deep breath in, it only goes in one lung. The one lung's not getting no air.
Can you feel it?
Yeah, I'm numb on this whole side.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a little paralyzed.
Wow.
I mean, I can move, I can do everything. But
yeah, no. To me, you look like a normal.
I mean, I could get operated on. They could open the flapper and sew it open permanently, but I'm very susceptible to get pneumonia because the flapper closes so that shit don't go in your lung.
Right, exactly. So you don't
other
get
than air.
Liquid in there.
Right. So then when there's liquid or mucus or anything that goes up in there, I'm going to end up with pneumonia 10 times a year.
So you'd rather have this?
I'd rather, as long as I can live like this.
Right.
I mean, I can't go jog 5 miles no more.
Right.
Or probably never could. But
right.
You know what I mean? I can't no more. I'm short of wind a little bit. You know what I mean?
I remember when you pushed the golf cart.
I shouldn't be smoking cigars. Oh yeah, I mean, pushing the golf cart.
You don't inhale the cigars.
No,
you're fine.
That's why
it helps.
That's why I smoke cigars. I do not inhale. That's why I don't smoke pot. That's why I'll do edibles
instead of smoking.
Yeah, because it screws me up.
Well, no, I get it. I get it.
It just makes
I can
me
imagine.
cough and it chokes me up.
Well, and that's why you can have it in all these other different forms, man. You'll never.
Well, that's why I do. You know what I mean? I'd rather eat the chocolate or the candy. You know
for
what
sure,
I mean?
For sure. It tastes good too.
Yeah. The problem is it takes an hour to hit you.
Right, that's true. And you sometimes, I don't know about you, but this has happened to me with edibles. I'll eat some, and then I'm like, this shit ain't doing nothing. And I'll eat more, and then by the time it hits me, I'm fucking paralyzed.
Well, that's happened to me too.
Yeah, I think that's the big story.
But I mean, edibles. I do everything I would be able to do normally, except probably go take a long walk on the beach or to walk every morning or ride a stationary bike in the gym.
You can do this.
I can, but not as long as I would ever be able to do it if I had 2 lungs.
What do you get out of the stationary bike now if you were to try?
I would be in better shape.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, what do you get?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried.
You haven't tried?
I'm sure I could build the good lung up a little.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
That's interesting. Have you ever talked about this stuff on the platform at all?
on this platform?
Yeah.
About my lung?
About your lung, about union stuff?
No.
No, yeah, well, I'm
Talked about prison.
You did. Yeah, no,
With
I know.
Larry,
Yeah,
we
sure,
talked
sure.
about prison.
I've seen it. I've even talked to you about it.
But as far as my personal life, my union construction and all, no.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
But a
I'm
shout
glad you
out to
brought it up.
Local 28. Everybody, when this is on, there's my symbol, Local 28.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the union I was in.
Yeah, so if you're
28,
watching
New
this
York.
on YouTube, you can see the
You
logo
can see
on his
Local
shirt.
28. Hey, brothers. I'm retired, though.
That's awesome. Listen, we had a pretty good show today. I
Yeah.
appreciate you doing this with us.
Yeah, no
I know we
problem.
just kind of threw you into it.
Yeah, it's a new thing, and I'll stop by every now and then, and we could do it.
I appreciate that very
All
much.
right, Zach.
Thanks, buddy. As
Benz.
Larry would, Benz. As everybody would say, as Larry would say on every show, make good choices.
Yeah.
And if you haven't done something nice for somebody, do something nice for somebody today. Remember, it's not the end of the world, even though it may feel like it. If you're not on Discord, get on Discord. If you're not on our Instagram, get on Instagram, YouTube. You guys know the deal. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back with you guys on Monday. Larry will be in the studio. Thanks again, Dave. Peace out.
Stay safe.